Rachel leaned down to whisper into the pocket of Trusty's apron. Mary, could you use your magic to change the color of the paint in the goblin's tent? She asked. She couldn't even see the little fairy, but then Mary poked out at the top of the portrait, and the girls heard her silvery speaking silvery voice speaking the words of a spell. Rainbow fairies, hear my plea, lend your color spells to me. Change the pain before their eyes to the color they despise. Mary's wand tip waved, a flash of rainbow sparkles burst from it, and in an instant the green paint that the goblins were using turned to bright pink. Ugh! Shouted the goblin in on the ladder. Disgusting, give me a new can of paint. One of the goblins opened another green can, but the paint inside was also bright pink. This is ridiculous, the goblin on the ladder squawked. What's wrong with this paint? Kirsty and Rachel stepped forward. Nothing's wrong with it, said Kirsty. You can have the green paint back as soon as you return Mary's magical charm. All you have to do is give back something that doesn't belong to you in the first place. It's the right thing to do, Rachel added seriously. But the goblins curled their lips, narrowed their eyes, and wrinkled up their nose as if they had smelled something bad. There's no way you're getting this back, said the goblin on the ladder. He held up his arm and jingled the bracelet he was wearing. Mary's yin-yang charm was dangling from it. It's mine now and I'm keeping it, he added. Now leave us alone. With that, a goblin jumped down from the ladder and raced off towards the tennis courts, slowly followed by the other goblin. It'll be easier to follow them as fairies, said Rachel. Mary, will you use your magic to transform us both? Of course, said Mary. The girls started around the corner of the clubhouse out of sight of the other children. Then Mary popped out of Krusty's apron pocket and hovered in front of them, holding her wand high above her head. We have to say my yin-yang charm before more friendships suffer harm. Untie these painting apron strings and lend my friend their fairy wings. Rachel and Kirsty felt something magically pulling at them. And then the aprons they were wearing were whisked away. In a twinkling of an eye, they had shrunk into tiny fairies, their wings shimmering like mother of pearl as they rose into the air beside Mary. They are heading toward the tennis court, said Kirsty. Come on, let's follow them. Two people were playing a tennis match when the goblins ran onto the court. One of the players was distracted by them and hit the ball out of bounds, but she didn't seem to mind. Instead, she jogged over to the goblin with the yin-yang charm and handed him her racket. Would you like to play now? She asked him. It only seems fair that we share so that you get a turn too. The goblin snatched the racket from her without saying thank you, while the other goblins argued over the second player's racket. The two players walked off the clubhouse. The goblin with the charm picked up the tennis ball and threw it into the air, a couple of times catching it as it came down. He looked around and saw the fairies hovering beside the net. A mean smile flickered around his mouth. Then he hit the ball at the fairies as hard as he could. Rachel, Kirsty, and Mary dove in opposite directions. Quick as a flash, he launched another ball at them and another and another. The fairies dodged left and right. It was all they could do to stay Stay safe and keep away from the speeding tennis balls. There's no way we can get close to the champ while he's hitting balls at us, said Mary, panting. Maybe we should leave and try again later. Kirsty shook her head, but before she could reply, she saw another tennis ball headed directly towards her. She darted sideways to avoid it, but she wasn't looking where she was throwing. Crash, she flew straight into the net that divided the tennis courts.